Good evening and welcome to WEBN Sports. I'm Emily Champagne. Let's jump into tonight's top stories. The Chiefs and 49ers have landed in Las Vegas. Both teams were preparing for the 58th Super Bowl with hopes of bringing the Lombardi Trophy back home. This game is a rematch from 2020 where Patrick Mahomes and company were able to hold off the 49ers, winning 31-20. The Kansas City Chiefs have been on fire recently, being last season's Super Bowl champions, but also appearing in Super Bowls 4 times within the last 5 years. However, new rising quarterback Brock Purdy has a full arsenal of dynamic receivers, including DuBois Samuel, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey. The game will be played on Sunday, February 11th at 6:30, and is expected to be a high-scoring and electric game. Ex-Patriot Bill Belichick will officially not be a head coach for the 2024 season. This past weekend, the final head coaching vacancy was filled, leaving Belichick still looking for a position. Formerly known as one of the greatest coaches in football history, no team wants to make the chance of hiring him. While there was some hope to see Belichick join the Seahawks or Commanders, both teams showed little interest and went in different directions. This puts Belichick's coaching future in question. All Patriots fans can do is wait and see. We're going to take a short break, but stay tuned for more in the NBA and NHL.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back to WEBN Sports. LeBron James, star of the Los Angeles Lakers, is approaching 40,000 individual career points. Already at 39,771 points, he's only 229 points away from hitting such an astonishing achievement. James is on a great pace to hitting it fairly soon, as he has an average of 27 points per game. LeBron is already in the record books due to his success with the Cavaliers and Lakers, but he is looking to be the only player to reach 40,000 points. For more on the NBA, we go to our correspondent, Jules Mazzolini.
Doc Rivers is set to coach the East in the NBA All-Star Game despite only being with the Milwaukee Bucks for 3 days. Rivers was signed on January 26 after the Bucks fired Adrian Griffin. Griffin had a 30-13 record as coach of the Bucks this season, but lacked connections with star players. With Rivers' bid to the All-Star Game, he has made a statement saying he will give his All-Star ring and bonus to Griffin. The NBA All-Star Game takes place on February 18th in Indianapolis. Marcus Smart and the Memphis Grizzlies visited the Boston Celtics this past Sunday. The Celtics welcomed Smart with an emotional tribute video as fans gave him a standing ovation. Smart was drafted to the Celtics in 2014 and helped the Celtics deep into the playoffs over the past 9 years. Smart was traded in the offseason to Memphis in a blockbuster 3-team trade that brought Kristaps Porzingis to the Celtics. Marcus Smart is currently making a return from a finger injury. Bradley Beal made his return to Washington in a stunning 43-point game. Beal spent 11 seasons with the Washington Wizards before the off-season trade sent him to join Kevin Durant and Devin Booker in Phoenix. He was just 19 years old when drafted by Washington. Beal dropped 43 points and exited the game in the fourth quarter with a standing ovation from the crowd. Bradley Beal and the Suns beat the Wizards 140-112. That's all for the NBA. Back to Emily at the desk.
The Milwaukee Bucks are having some trouble lately under head coach Doc Rivers. The Bucks were smoked in their last game versus the Utah Jazz, being outscored in the fourth quarter 40-13. Even though the Bucks have had leads in their games thanks to Giannis, they have struggled to get the win, now having a record of 1-3 since Rivers took over. While the Bucks are still second in the Eastern Conference, if they keep up the streak, the Cavaliers are only a half a game behind and ready to take the spot. We're going to take one more short break, but stay tuned for more WEBN Sports. Welcome back to WEBN Sports. Key defenseman Mattias Samuelsson is out for the season, suffering an upper body injury. Samuelsson is only one half of the most dynamic duos on the Sabres squad, as his pairing with Rasmus Dahlin can shut down even the best offense. Prior to the All-Star game, though, Samuelsson has missed 4 of the last 6 games due to soreness and pain in his upper body. Samuelsson now requires surgery for this injury, and we wish him a quick recovery. For more on the NHL, we go to our correspondent, River Caraballo.
The NHL All-Star Game took place in Toronto this past weekend. The event consisted of many historic moments, such as the first ever Professional Women's Hockey League 3-on-3 showcase. Savannah Harmon scored her first career hat trick at the showcase, sharing the special moment in front of a crowd of over 16,000 people and leading her team to victory. Things are looking promising for the PWHL, as NHL veteran Sidney Crosby stated that he would love to see a PWHL team come to Pittsburgh soon. NHL players are returning to the Olympics. The 2026 Winter Olympics in Millan will be the first time we see NHL players representing their home countries since 2014, and players could not be more excited. In result of this news, the NHL will hold a 4-nations face-off tournament in place of the 2025 All-Star Game. The league is planning on resuming their All-Star Game in 2026 as a send-off for those participating, and players are set to participate in the 2030 Winter Olympics as well. It was yet another big weekend in Toronto for Austin Matthews. The league-leading goal scorer took home not only the win for this All-Star team on Saturday, but the MVP trophy as well. Having 3 of his Maple Leaf teammates on his side, as well as his friend Justin Bieber, sure made this an All-Star weekend to remember. That's all I have for the NHL this week. I'm River Caraballo. Back to you at the desk.
Bruins' goalkeepers Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark are electric this season. While the Bruins suffered a heartbreaking end to their season last year, the Bruins are back and better than ever. Back for another season, Ullmark was ranked the best goalie in the NHL, winning the Vezina Trophy and finishing the season with a 98% save rating. Ullmark and Swayman were also recipients of the William Jennings Trophy for allowing the least amount of goals. The Bruins find themselves back at the top of the Atlantic Division, but Bruins fans are hoping they can make it to the Stanley Cup this season. Thanks for watching WEBN Sports. I'm Emily Champagne. Have a good night.